Hi guys, and welcome back to Salami. I know it's been a minute, it's been a while since I created a video, but today I am back and I'm so glad to pick up this camera and talk to you once more. I really missed doing this and I am happy to be back. So today I don't have much to say. I just have a story that I want to share with you, and it is a story of how I found myself in the middle of 5 thugs. Only lady in the middle of 5 men, but not just men, but thugs. But before I dive into the story, I would like you to subscribe to this channel, click on the bell in order to turn on notifications, and I will see you on the other side of this intro. Thank you so much guys. I hope you have already subscribed. So as I was telling you some few weeks ago, I found myself in the middle of 5 men, and not just ordinary men, but 5 thugs. So I was the only lady in that vehicle. There was no any other passenger. So this is how it happened. So you know how hectic it gets, especially during rush hours, and everyone is rushing to go to work, to go open their businesses, to go do their errands and so forth. So it's a Monday morning. I am dressed up and prepared to go and tackle my day and to go and do the activities of the day to wherever I was going. So I am dressed up and I am in a hurry, and it is 6 a.m. in the morning. It's a bit dark, but it's not that dark. So I am out of the house and I want to go to do my usual daily activities, and this day I am using public transport. So when I get to the road, you know, I have to cross to the other side in order to pick public transport and go wherever I want to go. So when I get to the road, just before I cross, I see a Nissan Matatu standing on the other side of the road, and the driver of that Matatu is beckoning me, madam kuja twende, madam kuja twende. And you know, everyone is rushing. Traffic is already starting to build up and no one wants to get caught up in traffic. So I'm like, wow, how lucky am I that I didn't even have to wait. I've just gotten out of the house and here I am. I've already gotten a matatu, and so I signal the driver and ask him to wait for me. So I cross the road and get into the matatu. The conductor is hanging on the door, so he asks me to sit. You see the 3 seats that are behind the driver's seat. So I get in and sit there because there is space. So there is one person seated on the far right, that is on the window seat. So I get in and sit on the seat next to the door, because you know there is COVID, and then we need to social distance and blah 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 because of COVID protocols. You understand how these things are nowadays. So I get in and sit next to the door, but just immediately after sitting, the conductor asks me to move in the middle because he wants to sit next to the door. So obligingly and innocently, I move to the middle and he sits next to me. So I'm now sandwiched between 2 men. So there is this guy on the right, there is this guy on the left, and then there is me in the middle. So when I look behind, I only see one man. He's covered himself with a mask, and he's also wearing a hoodie, and nothing actually clicks in my mind. I'm just like, oh, it's just a fellow passenger. So just before we start going, this guy on the right is like, hey conductor, I need my change, I want to alight, please give me my money. And he's requesting for the conductor to give him his change, but the conductor is not giving him his money. And instead of him giving him his money, he's asking me for my bus fare. So I get into my handbag, and this guy who is on my far right is carrying a carrier bag. Actually came with something to demonstrate. So he was carrying something like this. So it's a carrier bag, and I believe it was a newspaper that was inside. So it is a carrier bag, flat and big like this. So I'm seated like this. So this is my handbag. I'm holding my handbag like this, and then this guy on the right with his carrier bag is obstructing me like this, and in the process asking this conductor in quotes to give him his change because he wants to alight. But the funny bit is that he is not alighting, so he keeps saying that from now and then, but look, it seems this conductor is ignoring him. So I'm like, why is he ignoring him yet he wants to alight? But again, where this person is asking to alight is not a bus stop. You know, matatus cannot just stop anywhere, so there are specific pickup points and specific drop-off points. So wherever he is asking to be dropped is not a drop-off point. So and I'm wondering, why is he insisting on alighting, and why is it that this conductor is not willing to give him his money so that he can get off and go do his business? So in the middle of that confusion, this person on my right is asking to alight, this person on my left is asking me to give him my bus fare, the person behind me asks me to pick up some money for him. He says that he has dropped some money on my seat and he wants me to pick it up for him. So I have already opened my handbag. So let me just show you. So my handbag is now open. My handbag is open. The person on my right is asking to alight, and as he is asking to alight, he is obstructing me from seeing my handbag. The person on my left is asking me to give him money. So my handbag is already open at this point, and this other person is trying to confuse me with him alighting, yet he is not alighting. And then immediately I open my handbag. The passenger the passenger in quotes who is behind me is now starting to drop coins on my seat, and he's asking me to pick the money for him because he was paying his bus fare, but the money has dropped on my seat. So I turn and start picking the money for him. So I find 10 shillings and give him and tell him, look, here is your money. I got 10 bob. And he's like, no, there is more. I had 30 shillings. So I think you have not seen the 20 shilling coin. Kindly get it for me. So I check and I'm not seeing any 20 shilling coin. And I tell him, I'm sorry, I can't see your 20 shillings. So, and he says, oh, sorry, my bad. And so when I finally settle, remember, all these things are taking place in less than a minute from the time I got into the matatu. So when I finally settled, I'm like, oh shit, Faith, what actually is happening? So it starts sinking into my mind that I am actually seated in the middle of 5 thugs. So there is one guy behind me, there is one guy on my right, one guy on my left, then there is the driver, and then besides the driver there is also another guy. So all these 5 people who are in this vehicle are all thugs, and they are actually conducting business 6 a.m. in the morning, stealing from innocent passengers. So it clicks into my mind that I am actually seated in the midst of thugs. So what do? I start panicking, but I also don't want to show them that I am panicking, because if they realize that I have noticed they are thugs, they are bound to hurt me, or they are bound to do something that would actually hurt me. So I am panicking, yes, but I pretend to be strong and just sit in a calm manner. If you look at me, I am calm, yes, but inside I am actually dying. So we get to a point and they stop the vehicle in the middle of the road, and some guy gets in. So instead of this guy being allowed to go behind, they open the front of the car, and this guy who is seated in front moves to the seat that is immediately next to the driver, so that now this passenger who is coming in can now occupy the window seat. So when he gets in, he tries to close the door, but the moment he tries to close the door, this other the conductor who is now next to me peeps through the window and opens the door. So the guy in front is trying to close the door while the conductor is opening it from the outside. So the guy who is next to the driver is pretending to help this new passenger to close the door while the conductor is opening. So when the conductor is opening the door and this passenger is trying to close the door, this guy who is now seated next to the driver is busy stealing from him. So in a matter of seconds, the door now closes, and then this guy, now the new passenger, realizes that he is missing his phone, and he's like, looks like I dropped my phone when we were trying to close the door. Kindly allow me to get out and go get my phone. They don't hesitate. They just stop the vehicle. When he gets out, they slam the door and they start moving. Now I am all alone, and I have now actually confirmed that I am seated in the midst of thugs. I start panicking even more, but thank God for the mask, so I'm all covered. So what I do, I just start praying. I start saying the Lord's Prayer. I pray the Lord's Prayer until we get to the next bus stop. When we get to the next bus stop, I alight. That is not the place where I wanted to alight, but I got off that vehicle as fast as I could. I had not even checked my bag. I wasn't sure if I still had my phone. I wasn't sure if I still had my money, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was get out of that vehicle and be safe. Because when I was seated inside, there were a lot of things that were going through my mind. You see, I am the only lady in the vehicle, and I am now 100% sure that all these guys who are in this vehicle are thugs. So what is going through my mind is like, what if they have a gun and they decide to rob me at gunpoint, or they decide to shoot me? What if they stab me, or worse, what if they drag me, or what if they rape me, or what if they take me to an unknown location, or what if they kidnap me? What would I do? See, there is a lot of wild things going on in my mind, and all I want to do at this point is to get out of the vehicle. So we get to the next bus stop, and I ask them to allow me get out because I couldn't. I was dying. I could not. So gladly they allow me to get out, and I am panicking. So all this time I did not even bother to check whether I had my phone or whether they had stolen anything from me, because I was tense. So when I alight, I check my bag. I quickly open my bag, and like, is my phone there? Is my money there? Is everything intact? And thank God they didn't pick anything from me. And they also allowed me to get out of the vehicle, because I don't know. I just don't know what happened. I have never ever felt that unsafe in my entire lifetime. I have never felt that unsafe. It was crazy. So I am out of the vehicle at this point. I am shaking and I actually don't know how I got off. I don't know. I just started thanking God that He had set me free. Immediately a verse pops into my head. If you know Psalms chapter 27 verse 1, and it says, the Lord is my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. I will fear no more. He protects me from danger, and I will not be afraid. That was God who protected me from those 5 men, and it was not an easy thing. So that said, all I want to tell you today is, please be careful when you are using public transport. Be very, very careful. Our roads are not 100% safe, and these people you see on the roads, not all of them have a good agenda. Some of them use robbery, pickpocketing and theft as their source of livelihoods, and you are the target. So be very careful before you get into a matatu. Just have a glance at who is inside and how have they positioned themselves. All in all, learn to pray so that God will actually guide you and protect you in all your ways. So thank you so much for watching this video. It has been nice talking to you today, and next week I will also tell you another story of something that happened shortly after this particular incident happened. So don't forget to subscribe. I do not want you to miss out on this particular story, and I am